What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Games podcast. I'm Amber P. I do not have my homie, my co-host with me today, y'all. Listen, prep is prepping. We are tired and trying to just make schedules, coordinate, and all of life things is hard. However, working really hard to make sure that we don't skip weeks. So, in the name of making sure we don't skip weeks, some of these episodes coming up are probably going to be solo. We're just going to take turns. So, when we did our episode last week, that was 155, no, 156. It was Ask the Girl Games, which that is Alexis and I's favorite thing to do. We love asking, not asking, prep brain. We love answering your questions because I personally feel it just is a great way for us to be of service for y'all. The idea and inspiration for the pod is to give back and to help athletes and basically share information as we're on our journeys and things we wish we knew when we were at the beginning. So I'm actually just going to pull from one of the questions that we didn't get a chance to answer because it really, I don't know, this one jumped out at me. But the question is how to believe in yourself that you are worthy of winning. So thank you so much for putting that question in. And the first thing that I want to say is I think it is a very dangerous mindset to equate your worthiness to winning. And here's why. I understand what you're saying. I get it. I've been there. We're going to touch on that too, but in the sport of bodybuilding, you are going to lose way more than you will ever win. So therefore, if you align your worthiness with you winning, you're going to spend the majority of your time feeling unworthy. So therefore, I personally do not think that is a healthy mindset. And there's also different benchmarkers to winning. Obviously, yes, you want to, whatever the case may be, whatever your goal is, I think that's something that I am very mindful of as well. Everyone's goals and wins are going to be different. I think whenever we think about winning, our mind always goes to first place, taking overall, getting the pro card, qualifying for the Olympia, and all of those things are amazing. They are dope. They are fantastic. But in order to even get to that, there are so many other wins within your prep, within your off season, within your journey that you have to hit first before you can even get that. Because if you can't hit the win of checking your boxes, if you can't hit the win of getting your cardio done, prepping your food, staying on top with your meal plan or your macros, training, getting your sleep, your rest and recovery, all of those are wins. So therefore, if we can't do those wins, if we're not checking the boxes and winning in that area, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to be able to hit those other big, obvious wins, right? And I had posted a reel on my Instagram the other day just speaking about winning because quitters never win, right? And again, winning is relative. And so I think it's better to shift your mindset to those wins that seem minute or the task that you might not even be looking at as a win. Put your mind on those. The reason why is because those are controllable. You can't control who shows up to stage. You can't. You can't control what judge favors which specific physique. So do you following, you tracking what I'm saying as to why your worthiness should not be in alignment to winning a show, because it can take you down a dark path. And I'm trying real hard not to get Bible on y'all. I'm trying really, really hard, but a lot of the issue is most athletes do not understand their identity. Your identity is not in bodybuilding or being an athlete. That's just stuff that you do. I'll take myself for an example. I know who I am. My identity is in Christ. That's that's where we are, right? But then also the other things that I have going on, beauty, bodybuilding, content creation, those are things that I do. And I think the dangerous thing that a lot of people do, and you can do this no matter like what your job is, your industry is, athlete or not, but you never want to take on one sole thing and make that your full blown identity, because guess what? When the time comes, if the time comes where you have to take a step back, and especially when it comes to competing, I know for me, this is something that I have honestly been thinking about a lot and wrapping my head around. I know for me, where I'm at in my competitive career, I'm here for a good time now. I'm not here for a long time. My season is going to be coming to an end soon. We can't compete forever. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter at what age you start competing. There is going to come a time when you are not going to compete anymore. So it doesn't matter if you compete in your 20s, you compete in your 30s, you compete in your 40s, your 50s. You can't do this forever. So if you put your soul, full blown identity and your worthiness in being an athlete and winning shows, when the day comes when you step away from it, you are going to be in for a dark awakening, and it is not going to be fun. So here's the thing, you are worthy. How do I know you're worthy? Every day that you open up your eyes is a gift from God. So therefore, that means you are worthy. He's not done with you. You still have your own personal goals and desires and things that you want to do. So don't align your worthiness with winning, because when it comes to winning a show, it's not in your control. And I think sometimes what gets us even more stressed out and overwhelmed is we tend to obsess over things that are just simply not in our control. Because guess what? You can hit all the wins within your prep. You can do everything 100% correct, but that still does not guarantee that you are going to win. So therefore, when you're doing all of that and you have the mindset of, okay, well, I'm winning, I'm hitting all these goals, I'm checking the boxes, I'm doing everything properly by the paper, so that means I should win. So therefore, my worthiness is going to be, hold on, let me backtrack. So therefore, this is deeming me worthy of winning. And that's just not how it goes in the sport of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding and your confidence in believing in yourself, it's huge, right? Because you do need to believe in yourself. Here's the thing, believing it in yourself to basically be stripped down in front of a bunch of people for them to judge you, that that's not an easy task. Okay, so the fact that you are already prepping and you're on your way to doing that, it's a big deal, because the average human being cannot and will not do that. So I think what you need to do is just take a look at all that you have done, take a look at where you're at right now, and start looking at where you're already winning, and understand that you're worthy, period. You're worthy regardless if you step on stage or not. You're worthy regardless if you win or not. And then also, I think something else that a lot of people don't talk about is the high of the win is for a second. It is for a split second. And so you do all the work, you've aligned your worthiness with winning, you win, then what? Then what? Because that high from the win, sweetheart, it don't last long at all. It doesn't. And I feel like that is something that a lot of athletes do not speak about. I remember when I won my pro card, it took me a minute to really wrap my head around it. But then I had a moment where I was just thinking to myself, well, shoot, okay, we've won, but guess what? Now we are right back at the bottom of the totem pole. That's the way it goes, especially when you have that shift from, being an amateur to earning your pro card, and now you're a pro. You're probably not going to win for a really long time again. So that's why it is not wise to line up your worthiness with winning, because once you are a pro, sweetheart, be prepared. And I also think that's why a lot of athletes who tend to rise quickly, win fast, have a hard time in the pro league. This is just something that I have observed over the 6 years of my own competitive journey. I have found that athletes who have a quick rise to the top, they tend to fall really, really fast. And I also have observed that those athletes have a very hard time when they don't win. I personally believe that if you can learn how to lose early on in your bodybuilding journey, you're going to be better for it. You're going to be more resilient. You're going to have tougher skin. You're going to be able to bounce back quicker. You're going to be way more unbothered, because think about it. If you are at the amateur ranks and you're just used to winning, 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 winning all the time, that's all you know. So, of course, when you get that first lost, or you end up in a call out that you didn't think would even be possible for you, it is going to hit different because you have not built the muscles for what it's like to not win, to not do well. My first national show ever, I got third place. And then my second national show, I got third call outs. So I went from third place to third call out. And that was a tough, tough thing for me to wrap my head around. But guess what? It prepped me for the journey. It made me realize, hey, this competing thing, especially if you're a bikini athlete, girl, you got to buckle up because it is going to be a ride. So I personally believe going from third place to third call out was one of the best things that ever happened to me in my journey, because it made me realize what goes up must come down. Don't get high on your own supply. Don't align your worthiness with winning, because you are going to lose more than you win. Now, you do have to have a confidence about yourself. And here's the thing, there is a difference between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance has a stench to it. Arrogance don't smell good. Arrogance is haughty. Arrogance is, you know how you're around someone and they just have this air about them and it's not a pleasing aroma? That's arrogance. Confidence, most people who are confident, they don't walk around saying, I'm confident, I'm this, I'm that. When they enter the room, you just know they're confident. How do I know that? That's how I am. I'm confident in myself. Now, I'm not confident in myself because I think I'm the greatest of all time. No, I personally, and I know everyone has different beliefs, and I'm not here to try to put my beliefs on y'all. I'm just sharing me, my journey, how I operate. My confidence comes from God. Greater is He that is in me. So, therefore, God is the plug. He's everything. So therefore, if he's in me, then that means I have to walk in that excellence. That means I get to walk in that confidence. And I think sometimes people can confuse confidence with arrogant if they are insecure, if they are not confident themselves. I do feel like that can happen, but you have got to believe in yourself to a degree, because if you don't have a belief, if you don't have faith the size of a mustard seed, you're going to have a hard time. How do you build confidence? You keep showing up for yourself. That's how you build confidence. I was someone, and here's the thing, I have my days when I'm not confident. I have my days when I'm like, yo, sis, this ain't it. Your body looks bad. Your hair looking like taco meat. This is just not, you're not killing it today. That happens. We're human, right? But in order to build confidence, you have to keep showing up for yourself. Before bodybuilding, I was way more reserved. I was very quiet. I was very shy. Bodybuilding evolved me. Bodybuilding broke me out of my shell. Bodybuilding, I feel, revealed the animal that was really inside of me. My first time getting on stage, I got third place. And when I walked off of that stage, I was a new human. I remember saying to myself, yo, if I can do this, I can do anything. And the gag is, I ain't even win. I got third place. But because I was so blown away at the experience, where I started, how it ended, how my body was able to transform. It wasn't even the first place. I didn't even care about that. It was just the fact that I was able to make it through a prep, step on stage, look in a way that I had never looked in my life. And that gave me a confidence that I didn't even know was capable or available in me. And have that mindset. If I can do this, I can do anything. This is hard. This is hard. Again, there is absolutely nothing wrong with setting goals and having desires to get your pro card, win an overall, qualify for the Olympia. Have those goals, but also understand that every time you make it through prep, every time you make it to stage, that's a win. And you need to allow that to help build your confidence. So if you're someone who is struggling and believing in yourself, I really want you to make a checklist. Okay, here's your homework. I want you to make a checklist of all the things that you need to do. Don't make it like, now, don't make the checklist too long, because if you don't hit everything, you're going to feel like crap about yourself, and then you're going to feel unworthy, and it's just going to be a crash out. That's not what I'm saying. But the purpose of the checklist isn't to say, oh, I got the things done. But the purpose of the checklist is so that way you can visually see, I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I'm keeping my commitment, because there's just something that, I don't know, makes the dopamine, that makes the brain feel good when you know you are showing up and you are just, you're committing to yourself. I said the other day in one of my videos that a lot of the time I feel people have a hard time committing to themselves is because they have broken so many commitments to themselves in the past. Now you're a liar. You're a liar. You've been lying to yourself for so long. So you'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna prep my food," and you never prep your food. "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go do this cardio. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna apply to this new job." Whatever the case may be, but because you have not kept the bare minimum basic commitments to yourself, when it comes to bigger commitments, when it comes to more grandiose, larger goals, you're probably not going to be able to maintain that commitment to yourself. So, homework for those who don't believe in themselves, I want you to take a moment and reflect. Y'all know I'm a journaler. Look back at where you started. Think about some of the hard things that you have overcome, some of the challenges. Let that give you confidence. Make that checklist, that commitment to yourself. Check that bad boy off. Keep showing up for yourself. And I guarantee, as time goes on, you're going to start believing in yourself. And then here's the other thing too, baby. Sometimes you just got to talk your ish, okay? I've said this before. Sometimes you have to be your own hype woman. You can't be out here depending on other folks to hype you up. In fact, I'll tell you right now, when people give me compliments, I'm always, grateful, gracious, thank you so much. I don't let that get to my head though, because here's the thing. It's very dicey when you're doing things for the high, when you're doing things for the compliments, because at that point, you have to ask yourself, am I serving man? Because if you are serving man, if you're serving the applause, if you're serving the compliments, guess what? When that man stops clapping, when the man, and when I say man, I'm just talking about like humans as a whole, not like a specific man, but when they stop clapping, when they stop giving you compliments, when the high comes down, you're going to have a very difficult time. So that's why it is important important to hype yourself up. I will preach to myself all the time. In fact, when I'm feeling down and out, that's what I do. Put on the full armor of God. I'm going to preach to myself. I'm going to talk my ish. I'm going to tell you, hey, girl, you got it. Hey, you built muscle. Hey, you looking good today. Hey, your curls are popping. Your skin looks good. Come on, glutes is up. Like, talk to yourself. These things aren't it's not bad to do that. In fact, I think it's imperative to do because like I said, you are with you all the time. Okay? Those Instagram comments, those Instagram likes, the compliments in the gym, all that's all well and good, but when you lay your head down at night, I guarantee those aren't the things that plague you. It's probably all the other negative talk that you are telling yourself. So that's why it is essential to hype yourself up, pep yourself up. Do not ever depend on anybody else to do that, but also, most importantly, maintain your humility and do not get high on your own supply because what comes up must come down. All right. So that's it for today's question. I hope y'all are having a good day. I don't know what next week is going to be. I don't know if we'll both be back, if it'll just be Alexis. Anywho, we'll get that. So, oh, wait, I do know what next week's going to be. Next week's going to be a really good episode. I just remembered. All right. So, thank y'all so much for listening. Church announcements real quick. Alexis is 4 weeks out. So, therefore, if you were not on her posing schedule, good luck. You're going to have to work really hard to try to catch her before she goes to Portugal because once she goes to Portugal, you're not going to be able to get in contact with her. She's busy. She's got things to do, X, Y, and Z. So plan your posing out ahead of time. Even if you are someone who is far away from show, maybe you're a first time competitor, girl, put your heels on. Girl, walk around. Try to start getting into those poses. If you are local in the Charlotte area and you want posing, fit model bikini, you can hit me up. I would love to help you with your posing. For stage glam, stage glam. I have Border Clash this weekend. Let's see. Junior Nats is booked. Universe is booked. Masters Nationals is booked. So at this point, we've got Tampa Pro coming up. We've got North Americans. I just added OCB Yorton Cup. I don't know if we have any OCB girlies out here that are listening, but if you have OCB friends who are going to be competing at Yorton Cup, I will be doing that because it's in my city. It's in the CLT, Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's it, y'all. Thanks so much for listening, and we will chat with you next week.